From the great words of Buckminster Fuller, we are called to be architects of the future, not its victims. Ancestral intelligence is the AI in which I lean on. Right now, the world is undergoing a global evolution, which is integrating developments in biology, materials, and information technologies at an accelerating pace. Therefore, the future of how humans relate to and intertwine with technology, integrated machines, culture, and the planet is being defined at this very moment. After 4 years as a professional football player, I decided to take the accumulated wisdom I gained from my time on the field to pivot and leverage those experiences to the field of the world. Fascinated by Paul Hawkins' solution-based approach to global challenges, my new playbook became natural capitalism. And with a clear direction forward and minimal trepidation, I decided to travel to Europe, following my mentor, an aviation expert by the name of Dirk van Berkel. Initially scheduled to be there for 3 weeks, I ended up exploring and extending my knowledge base throughout Europe for 10 months. Focused on renewable technologies and aviation research, I met with institutions, academia, technologists, and futurists. And after synthesizing my learning through a master's program in adult learning and global change from Linköping University in Sweden, I decided to travel throughout South America with the agenda of understanding ancient wisdoms and learning from local communities to understand how they related to and communed with natural systems. My curiosity kept coming back to two provocations. What are the similarities and differences between community and kinship? And what does an authentic symbiotic relationship with the planet truly look and feel like? These questions inspired me to create the World Education Foundation. And ever since 2009, I've been on a quest to begin realizing my vision for a regenerative future. Traveling to over 81 countries and working in 21 of those countries, I built trust with global leaders, gleaned wisdom from local elders, empowered youth, and created livelihoods for multiple communities. During this time, I began to recognize patterns at the nexus of ancient wisdom, modern technology, and future society. Through every year, my work continues to come closer and closer to leaning on indigenous practices in order to understand the relationality between humans and all living systems. And with respect to the Blackfeet Nation, we are flipping Maslow's hierarchy of needs, switching from a focus of the I, and instead create the containers and conditions which allow us to operate as the we within this ecosystem. Through our research over the years, we have understood and synthesized the connections between colonialization, capitalism, and climate change, which my partner Ada Paris coined as the ecological triptych. Through this triptych, we identify colonialization as the ego, and capitalism is the function that drives the ego or supports the ID in certain ways, where the resulting consequence is climate change. So when we look at what regeneration means, it's really about a reconciliation of the fragments that have been created from our disconnect from the planet. And to approach the consequence of the ecological triptych, there are three projects I'm currently focusing on that revolve around space, regenerative land development, and personal transformation. Spawned out of my time at Singularity University, I am building out a set of companies called Urban Matrix One and Space Matrix One, which utilize satellite imagery, unique data sets, and machine learning to quantify the sustainability for global infrastructure projects, where social and environmental impact are mapped to the sustainable development goals. As a vertical integration, we are aiming to launch a small satellite constellation with a value add of hyperspectral imaging on onboard machine learning processing. Essentially, we will be able to provide an MRI of the world, identifying vulnerabilities within our ecosystem in real time. Secondly, we are working on a land regeneration project called Regenerative Futures, where we have just signed an agreement to create our first regenerative co-lab on a large ranch in the greater Yellowstone region. Through this beta offering, we will curate a small transdisciplinary group of experts, Have them participate in a proprietary 5-phase framework which deconstructs the myth of the ego to begin solving land challenges from a deeply connected orientation. From there, we will begin to generate a new language incorporating artistic expression, emerging technologies, civic solutions, and rethinking of policy. From there, we will deploy this concept as a distributed network of these collabs to activate multiple bioregions starting in North America and extending globally. And if done right, we will be able to set the course for intergenerational transmission of knowledge, ceremony, and practice to connect and enhance our communities, resulting in a human behavior change that reframes our relationships to land, sea, and skyscapes. And to close, my proposed solutions and efforts do not solely revolve around technology in the traditional sense, but rather interweave indigenous wisdom, technological systems, and this living ecosystem to identify and shift the culture, behaviors, and language that serve as the coding material to the future we would like to program. Right now, I'm working with exceptional transdisciplinary individuals who work night and day to create regenerative change. And I look forward to working with additional inspired individuals to meet today's challenges for a brighter future. I will not go silently into the night. I am truly ready to create the regenerative future we all are aspiring to create. Thank you.